Hey folks, welcome back. I'm out here under the bright lights of the shop today. This is where I often do a bunch of projects, both mechanical and wood projects. And that's exactly what we're going to do today, a wood project. Many of you have seen me saw out at my new sawmill say you're standing around an awful lot. Back at the controls, you're just moving the levers, the wood is getting cut all by itself. And that's somewhat true. I am standing around a lot, but I'm moving as well. When I'm standing at the controls though, wouldn't it be nice to have a little bit of a spot you can plop down on, even just lean against, something like a stool? Well, I'm going to take that idea, put it into action today with two new tools. Let's have a look at the tools we've got here. This one has had a little bit of use around here, not too much. That is a log peeling disc. You can see it's got 3 blades that rotate on a 9-inch angle grinder. This thing with those blades, it removes all the bark from the log that you're peeling real quickly. And so this thing ultimately sped up the process of using a draw knife. Now, I found it to be very helpful because those blades, I can take them out, touch them up, sharpen them on a bench grinder, touch them up with an angle grinder, and put them back on, and away they go. Now, there is a little bit of a curvature to that disc. You see it there? And what I'm referring to is on the edges, it goes up a little bit, and that allows you to sweep over top of the log without it hitting sharp edges and getting stuck, so it makes for a nice motion. I'll put videos of that in action at the end of this one. Now, on the back of this thing, as I said, we've got an angle grinder. This happens to be a 9-inch angle grinder. It's nice having the handle on there with that. You could use a 7-inch angle grinder here as well. The 9 is just what I had. So that's going to be put into action. And as I said a moment ago, on the back there, you've got the blades that can be removed. And then we can touch them up, sharpen them, adjust the depth of cut, put them back on, and away you go. Now this thing is brand new to me. I haven't tried it at all yet. That's a 1/2-inch drill, and I put the handle on just for a bit of stability. And then right here, this is called the multi-cutter, the Tenon multi-cutter. And so what we've got here is we've got this T6 aluminum, and this is what's going to create the tenon based on the size of that opening, that hole size in the very end. Now this, as it sits, will cut a 2-inch tenon, 2-inch diameter tenon. And it does that with a single blade. Those are tungsten blades. You can remove them, sharpen them, put them back on. Replacement as well, you can put on there. Now, the 2-inch tenon's great. However, if you don't want a 2-inch tenon, once again, that's that hole diameter down on the bottom, you can put these inserts in. Now, I've got 2 inserts. I'll try at a later time. I've got a 1.5-inch insert, and I've got a 1-inch insert, and that's the diameter of that hole down in the bottom there. Now how it works is you take that machine screw out, and then this goes right down in there, and then see where that machine screw is? That goes right in there, and that holds that in place. And then as you feed the material in, what it's going to do is it's going to reduce its size, starting with this blade, ultimately down to the finished size. In this case, it'd be 1.5 inches. So we'll try that another day. Once again, T6 aluminum. And on the side here, got a little level indicator. And this shaft here, this is a keyed shaft. And because of that, what you can do, so there's the key right there, the keyway. The key is actually in there. But what you can do is you can actually loosen that and you can slide it down. And what that'll do is that'll allow you to reduce the depth of the tenon. So if you don't want a full depth tenon, you can make it really short by just loosening that and pushing that back down. So we're going to put that into action here today. I'm looking forward to it. Here we go. Well, there we have it, folks. Probably took me longer to rotate it in the vise than it did to take all the bark off. Typically, I would use this with a full-length log, and so you can move your way down the entire thing. But one thing I like about it, it doesn't gouge. You can see the finish there. Now, this was in a hurry as well. And the other thing I liked about it, it took knots right off. You saw like there was a knot here and one there. It'll just clean it fresh off. And as I said, this is maple, and it'll do the same with other woods as well. So we've got 4 little pieces here. This is going to be the legs for the stool. We'll get the tenon on the drill again, and then we'll put a 2-inch tenon on it and put it into the top piece. Okay, first go around, here we go. Wow, that's sharp. This is just a very basic 1/2-inch chuck drill with a handle. Probably bigger is better in this case. That worked just fine though. So here's the end product there, and that's going to work just fine. I think the shoulder, they say, is about a 60-degree shoulder that it creates on it. And then, as I mentioned before, the depth of that tenon, you can adjust it by loosening off that machine screw, pushing the whole unit down a bit. So if I just want a little piece, but that'll work for now for sure. Now these ones here are a little on the small side, but we'll try them out. Right on. Another one. Perfect. That was pretty good. That was through a knot. So those are sharp blades on there right now for sure. Perfect. I have a feeling you could use a cordless drill here if you had one. There's not a ton of torque there. Like, you can feel it moving around, but it's nice to have a little handle just for extra. But there's not a ton of torque moving around. You feel like you can manage it, no problem. There we go. This is really green, the wood, and so what you're seeing there is not smoke, it's steam from the moisture in this wood still. Now this one, I should have probably picked a different one because it's too small, right? But we're gonna roll with it anyways because that's what I have. Okay, let's see what we're dealing with. Check that out. Love it. I don't know, I kind of like the little nubbin parts on the top. I can probably just connect them together. This is supposed to be rustic. I think that's going to work just fine. Obviously, I'll cut the bottoms off so they're all on the same plane, but I think that's going to be it. There it is. Well, let's try it out, shall we? Oh yeah, that'll work. And I made it that height because when I'm at the controls, I'm standing, and all I'm looking to do is to do that. Just a little bit. I don't need to sit down like a lazy boy. But yeah, that's going to work real nice. Feels firm enough, it's not going to collapse on me. Right on. I like those as well. If I'm creeping too far off the side, I know it before I fall on the ground. Well, I think that's a project well done. It's going to serve its purpose real well. Tune back in real soon. You'll see me out at the sawmill using it. But there it is, finished product. Nice having that tenon cutter. I think I'll use it for a variety of projects. I want to get a railing put on the tiny house, a rustic railing. I think that'll work real well for all those spindles. And we'll have to try it out real soon, as I said. If you had any questions about the setup here, that right there, once again, 9-inch angle grinder. That's got the log peeling disc on there. And then this right here, the multi-cutter tenon cutter. If you had any questions about that, please let me know down below in the comments. All this stuff here came from Alberta Forest and Garden out in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I'll put the link to where it's from in the description. But as always, if you get a chance to get outside, do some projects, cut some wood, saw some wood, make sure you do that. And above all else, make sure you come back next time. Give me the old like or roo if you did like this video. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.